major life decisions, they're always a slow burn. Like there's always like a point you can look back and be like, this is the beginning of the end, and then it ramps up from there. I was sufficiently miserable to make a life change. Basically, it just didn't align with my values. I went into engineering because what I was sold was you use science to solve problems, make the world a better place, and help people. That was not consistently my experience. So like one example, I was sent the information for what material should we make this out of. And it's basically a tube that they put into the earth and they plumb all sorts of stuff that they don't want on the surface into the earth, right? This particular well would have been like 200 meters from a school. So I gave my recommendation, and then if they say, well, we don't have that kind of money, we're gonna use the cheap stuff. Like it's their call, but I still need to drive home and look at schools and then like look at myself in the eye, in the mirror, and be like, I was a part of that decision. You get a lot of existential crises if that's like happening fairly regularly throughout the week. Fitness has always been a big important part of my life. I started weight training when I was 12. I started running competitively when I was 15, and I've been doing that for the last 20 whatever years. When I was a kid, I didn't realize you could do this as a job, right? Or versions of it. During my athletic career, I have been broken in all kinds of ways. This tends to happen, and I've had some really good physiotherapists. They are changing lives maybe a couple times an hour, depending on, and so I'm like, man, that looks way better. So my sister was super supportive. She was like, I'm on trained physiotherapy, and so she helped me and enabled me a lot to make that decision. My parents, I didn't tell until as late after I made the decision as possible. Part of the reason I went into engineering was my dad, so I knew like he would be disappointed in me. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones that are most resistant to big changes because they don't want you to get hurt. I wanted to use the support and get through it first and then be like, here's my problem, hey look, I've already solved it, before I told them about it, so that they could have a sense of confidence that I was making the right choice. I went back to school. I was working for basically minimum wage, part-time. I got my GPA up to 3.76. Apparently it still wasn't good enough. And so at that point, after 2 years in tuition and everything, I was like, I need to try something else. So I had gotten my personal training certification while I was in school. I'm like, hey, I actually really enjoy this. And so that's why I started Whistle While You Work Out, which was my personal training business. Of course, that never takes off right away. My savings really took a kicking through all of this. There are so many reasons to be active. There's this sense of empowerment, like, man, I ran that far, or I lifted that heavy thing. Things in life feel easier because you've trained for it. That is just a massive mental boost. So I find a lot of my clients' sense of self-efficacy increases considerably. If you're keeping your joints limber, if you're staying strong, if you're regulating your blood sugar, if your organs and everything can do what they're supposed to do, you will feel better physiologically, which often translates to emotionally as well. I've had clients where they've been able to reduce their dosage of antidepressants since working with me and like just being more active in general. If someone has other issues going on, like they have osteoarthritis, they have a muscle imbalance, it kind of hurts to do squats, to do push-ups, to do et cetera, whatever. When I have those clients, we work on those muscle imbalances, that range of motion, et cetera, et cetera. We get it so it doesn't hurt, modify as necessary, and then what do you know? They're actually okay with that exercise, just not whatever version they had experienced before. It's because I'm too lazy. Never, I have never met anyone that's actually too lazy to work out. Normally it's something else. You know, you walk into a gym and you're like, this is terrifying. What do I even do? Especially if they've got a lot going on, their parents, they're working, et cetera, et cetera. So their brain battery, their decision-making battery is already used up. That's why you get a personal trainer. We do the thinking for you. Actually, this past year, I applied for physio again, and I was accepted. I declined it because my goal with what I had hoped to accomplish in physiotherapy, I was doing in personal training. Things like modifying people's workouts, getting them stronger, unlocking injuries that they had been dealing with for so long, just seeing them flourish. You stick to the intention, even engineering, personal training, physio, all of it. My intention was to use science to solve problems, to make people's lives better, to make the world a better place.